each other. Because, white people can just date without the preconceived notion of, you know, well, if he's a white guy, he's going to, which, I've never heard a white girl say something like, oh, well, you already know how white guys are. You already know what they give. I never heard white women talk about white men like that. Am I tripping? You know? Like, honestly, even in terms of the way that we talk about each other, I honestly don't, and maybe it's conversations that we're not privy to, maybe because these other races don't really have like a handle on pop culture the way African Americans do. So by and large, we are exposed to, unfortunately, a lot of stereotypical behavior because that's the way that Hollywood digests and gives us our culture back, you know? So, but not for nothing. I've never actually heard other cultures kind of speak about each other, male to female or male to male or female to female in terms of their race and what that means in terms of social expectations or dating expectations. It's almost like the other races are allowed to just be, without the hang up of, well, he's this, so it's going to mean this. And so I'm already coming with behavior that is indicative of what I believe the preconceived notion is. Does that make sense? You know? So, like, we can't just. Did y'all see that Madonna is dating like a 20-something-year-old Jamaican man? Moan said Jamaican boy. I mean, I don't want. Girl, he gonna take everything, bitch. He gonna take everything, bitch. He gonna take everything. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm talking about? Like, I am uh, born in the U.S. of Jamaican heritage. My parents are both Jamaican. I have grown up always having a preconceived notion of what dating a Jamaican man is like. And unfortunately, in most cases, for me at least, a lot of those stereotypes. Am I out here alone? Cause all right, girls, let's just talk. Let's have real talk. Let's have real talk. Okay? Hold on. Let me sip some of my coffee. We're 17 minutes in and we're catching up. Let's have real talk. Hold on. Okay. Have you ever dated a Jamaican man before? And this is not a sexual orientation specific question. Have you ever dated a Jamaican man before, or maybe you only date women? Have you ever dated a Jamaican woman? Now I'm gonna say Jamaican, even though I know the it's interchangeable. So it's almost like, have you ever dated a Nigerian guy? Have you ever dated you know, have you ever dated a Dominican girl? Like, there's certain people who have there's certain cultures, not races. There's certain cultures who have some really preconceived notions, negative, when it comes to dating them. Jamaican men are notorious for not really having a good track record out here. And my personal experience kind of aligns with what the negative preconceived notions are. Now, this goes to me, a lot into, even when you talk about dating other cultures, right? I think, so what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to just keep dating Jamaican niggas that are trash and, if a white nigga want me, I'm not supposed to go? Cause like a lot of times I feel like that's what niggas want. Like, what I'm supposed to do? Hmm? What? Hmm? Hmm? What I'm supposed to do? What I'm supposed to do? Hmm? 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 Listen, I'm telling you what I'm not finna do. I'm finna tell you what I'm not finna do. What I'm not finna do is stay unhappy to fulfill even my own expectations. Because I think for a long time as a black woman, I felt the need. And I think as a black woman who would like to consider herself as socio-politically aware, right? Or what you guys would refer to as woke, right? And I don't want to, I was just having a conversation with someone about how it bothers me that people use words interchangeably, right? Or ascribe their own meaning to words that already have a meaning, right? So I think that there can be a level of consciousness um, when it comes to politics and socioeconomics and what have you. But I don't think that, because here's the thing, you could be woke sociopolitically, but still not be down for me. I know a lot of black men who are down for black people, you know, in all the ways that it matters. Oh, I want us to come up and whatever, whatever. But those are the same black niggas that treat women like shit, treat black women like shit. They the same black men that would step on the heads of black women and hurt them and destroy them knowingly, but say that they down for the cause. Now, what I'm not saying is that, oh, in order to be woke, that means that you have to be monogamous or you only have to treat black women in a specific way. What I am saying though is that there's no way that you can be sociopolitically aware. That does not make you conscious. You can be conscientious of sociopolitical issues and err to the side of equality in terms of socio political and economic issues in our community, but still not be conscious. And I don't like it when people use the word conscious to describe niggas just because they're woke. Because those niggas are not conscious. They are conscientious, but they're not conscious. Because if you was conscious, it doesn't mean that you're going to be monogamous. It would just mean that your character would align with being conscious, which means that you would not err on the side of stepping on me as a black woman because you're conscious and you respect the I am that lives within me. That doesn't mean that you're not going to make mistakes. That doesn't mean that you're not going to err, but you are going to err on the side of consciousness. And unfortunately, when it comes to a lot of black men, though they are politically and socioeconomically astute and conscientious, they are still not conscious. And until they gain a level of consciousness in terms of character, they will never truly have the freedom and the power that is already naturally bestowed to them. Now, I ain't on no fucking hotep shit. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to sound like that, but that's just how I feel. And you have to be aware of feelings because they could jack you up. But I do believe that equality has nothing to do with just socioeconomics and politics. Equality has everything to do with the way that I see myself and how that colors the way that I see everyone else. And that's been the irony, to me at least, of this whole COVID situation, is that the irony is that, we've talked about this before, but the irony is that this could all be so simple if you cared about yourself enough to protect yourself. I was in a Marshall's on Friday after work, getting some gym clothes. For those of you who are looking for Nike socks, Marshall's got them for $11.99. You don't have to be out here and give your extra $9 to any of these athletic stores. Because for what? Spend $11.99 at Marshall's, bitch, and come up. But um, there's this girl walking around, and she has no mask on. And so I hear one employee say to her, ma'am, you got to have a mask. I know have. Okay, all right, cool. And he just, so another one comes over to her minutes later. Ma'am, do you have a mask? No. And he's like, well, the policy is that now, mind you, she's in the store. There is a guard at the door who is supposed to be guarding A, the amount of people who are in the store, and B, making sure that people are not in the store without a mask. Now, you cannot regulate masks from the standpoint of making it a law that people must wear masks. However, I do believe that that should in fact be the law currently. you know I think that if you have health issues that would impede you from wearing a mask out in certain conditions, then you need to just stay your black ass home or stay your white ass home, whichever. you know but so she has no mask on. She had already passed security, got in with no mask. She had already encountered several employees with no mask. At this point, I don't know what number of employee this was, and she has no mask. I'm looking around. There's old people shopping in the store. There are babies in the store. There is children in the store. There's a lot of people in the store. All right. Now, the layout of a Marshall's. Marshall's is an open layout with directionally no one path. There is no one path of shopping in Marshall's. There's no guided path. So customers are able to go through, in and out, weave through however they see fit. Right? Oh, God. And I'm thinking to myself, now look at this fucking bitch. Not because she doesn't have a mask on, but because she doesn't give a shit about herself enough that she would, because when you mask yourself, you are doing it in fact for other people, right? We all know that. A mask doesn't necessarily protect you. In fact, studies have shown that certain type of masks have the ability to actually make you sick, depending on how long you've been wearing it and what personal ailments you are suffering from. So, really, wearing a mask is about securing other people, right? Protecting other people from you. However, in this country, we just have a culture of all for one and one for nothing. Like everyone is an island, and, unfortunately, that does not work in these times. So, so what do you guys want to talk about first? You guys want to get to Kamala first? Because, big things are going in the political world, you guys. So, this week it was announced that presidential, Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden would in fact be choosing, or has chosen, Kamala V. Harris of California as his vice presidential running mate. Now, if you recall, in the previous election and also during um, the Democratic presidential candidate process, Kamala and Joe had some mudslinging moments, if you will, between them. However, that did not stop him from choosing the California native. So, a lot has been made about Kamala, and you are either erring on the side of being extremely ecstatic that she has been chosen, or erring on the side of being cringed feeling. I've even heard people liken her demeanor to that of a Hillary Clinton in terms of saying that she is cold and could be aloof in terms of emotion.